This is Phoenix. He's a 22-year-old Wakalusa gelding. He's about 14.3 hands high. He came in our August auction and just came out of quarantine a couple weeks ago. So I'm going to show you guys what we've done with him so far today. He is actually kind of special needs. We had Doc looking at him last week, and he's partially blind and partially deaf. We don't typically get deaf horses, so this is something new for us. He can hear some things, but just not everything. And same thing with his sight. When Doc had looked at him, his pupils didn't respond on one side his pupils responded on one side where they didn't respond on the other side. So he thinks he is also partially blind. So he picks his foot up. So I'm just gonna keep brushing till he puts it down. So I'm just gonna keep going. I'll just hold it here, good boy, till he puts it down. And then I can always go back. Good boy. Good boy. So we've actually taken him on some long rides, and he does really well. He seems to enjoy the trails a lot. He wants to go. And we had his feet done, and he actually got his shoes pulled, and he seems to be doing well. We might put his fronts back on, just because if we were gonna be trail riding him a lot, we would rather have the shoes on him. So we'll probably put his fronts back on and continue giving him some long rides just to get miles on him. Good boy. He can be hard to catch when you're getting him, and I think that is because he is partially blind and deaf. He can't necessarily shake a grain bucket for him to come to you, but he also, I think, has a hard time seeing you when you're approaching him. So sometimes if we can get him into a catch pen, that's our easiest way to catch him. Hi, buddy. He does love getting attention. He stands here just to get groomed. I think someone that can bond with him would do really well. I think he's going to be a one-person type of horse. I'm just gonna hold while he moves. Good boy. When we first evaluated him, he was a little kicky with his back feet, but we've been working on that, and since he's been really good. Good boy. And he is colorful. He's white, and then he has his spots because he is a Wakalusa, which is a pretty unique pattern. Good boy. No horse with an Appaloosa pattern looks the same. They all look a little bit different. Over. Boy. So I'm still gonna give him the same commands that I would another horse with my voice, and to see if he can hear them at all. He might not be able to, but our bodies kind of train themselves that when you give a certain voice command, you move a certain way. So especially riding, I'm still gonna give those voice commands even if he can't hear them, because my body is trained to react to those voice commands in a certain way. Good boy. What a good boy, huh? As you can see, he's super relaxed, just sitting here getting brushed. He stands well to get saddled. He'll move back a little bit when you first grab the saddle pad if you're walking straight at him. But like you can see, I came at him at an angle to the side and he didn't move at all. What a good boy. The trail rides we've brought him on, we brought him out in a group, and he seems to do really well with a group. He enjoyed it. Good boy. He didn't want to necessarily be in the back, but he didn't want to lead the whole time. So I think he would do good with a group trail ride if he was right in the middle with them. He doesn't mind any of the tack getting put on or done up. He doesn't get impatient. Some horses still get impatient, but he's not one of them. To show you guys how quiet Phoenix can be sometimes, Phantom's gonna go for a little ride. Huh? You think Phoenix would be a good horse for somebody, Phantom? Ready, buddy? We noticed when we were first getting on before that he would move around a little bit. He is starting to stand when you start to get on, but when you go to act like you're about to get on, he's been moving around still. So we're just working on that now. So I'll show you guys what he does when I go to get on. Ready, Phoenix? He's really settled a lot since he's come. Some horses take longer to settle, some horses don't take so long, they're almost settled right away. But he seemed to be one that settled pretty quickly once he got into a workout routine. He's not cinchy at all, he didn't move at all when I tightened his girth. I can even put my fingers down here, he doesn't flinch. Ready? So as you can see, he's actually better. This is the first day that I put my foot in the stirrup, got on, and he didn't dance in a little circle. Good boy. There you go. He just moved a little bit, but when I ask him to kind of stop, he respects the bit, he respects the pressure. Good boy. He's very quiet riding. He doesn't always like when things come up behind him, but I think that, again, that has to do with his the blindness and deafness. He's very confident. I'm going to show you guys that with some of the obstacles that we have. So I'm going to bring him straight over to the obstacles. First, I'm going to show you guys what our noodles over here, which he does very well. What a good boy. He had a little bit of hesitation and then went right through. He never sped up afterwards. Ready? Good boy. He hesitates sometimes, like you saw there when there's ditches in the ground. And I think part of that has to do with shadows if he can't see them very well. Good boy. He doesn't mind too much of everything on his sides. And a lot of horses don't like when the noodles touch their stomach or are on their sides, and you can see that he doesn't care. It makes no difference for him. What a good boy. I think he would make someone a great weekend trail horse, or even more than just weekend, someone that wanted to go on long trail rides, because he seems to really enjoy that. He has a nice gait to him. Oh, good boy. He's not going to take off, and he's not one that you have to really kick to go forward. I have to give him a little bit of a squeeze and ask him to go forward, but I'm not over here trying to give him a bump every stride to keep him going. Ready? What a good boy. And then our cowboy current, I'll try to stop him under that too. Ooh. 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 Good boy. So now that I know that he can go through all these obstacles, then I'm gonna start asking him to stop and stand and see if he has that patience. Our next one that I'm gonna take you guys to is a teeter-totter that we built, which he seems to really enjoy. Once he goes over the bridge really well, which he does, then I can take him to the teeter-totter. So when I first bring him over the teeter-totter, I'll bring him the short way, just like I would a normal bridge. So you can see it's not gonna move at all, but I'm still getting him to go over the obstacle. And you can see he did that very willingly. So now I'm gonna bring him over the way that it's down. So he stepped on the side, so I'm gonna back him up, and I'm gonna bring him right back to the front of it. Bring up right here, and then it'll come down. Good boy. And he's unfazed. So our next step to make it harder for him is making him step it down when he comes up on it, which you can see is very easy for him. He does not mind that at all. He's super confident with all these obstacles. He does so well with them. He could even make someone a nice versatility horse doing a bunch of obstacles. I think part of it is he's relying a lot on the rider's confidence. So the more confidence that the rider has doing all these obstacles, the better he's gonna be. Good boy. Ooh. He can be a little impatient like you saw with stopping, but when he stops like this, I'll give him a reward and then ask him to walk off again. Good boy. So I'm gonna try next on the teeter-totter with him is I'm gonna ask him to try to stop on it and rock it back and forth. Ooh. Ooh. Back. Good boy. So he stepped off of it, so I'm gonna bring him back. Ooh. Ooh. Good boy. So that's just a little bit of rocking back and forth with it. Just seeing how much he's listening to my cues. What a good boy. So I think Phoenix would do well with an advanced rider that can work through his issues. Just because he is special needs, he does need a special home for him and someone to love him. And if anyone's interested in adopting Phoenix, please go to our website and fill out our adoption application, and we'll work on getting an appointment set up if he fits for you, and hopefully he'll find his forever home with someone. And don't forget to share our video to hopefully help find his person.